Byron, I wanted to ask you, did you get an explanation on the defensive pass interference?
Yeah, he said I grabbed the receiver from the front and pulled him back from his shoulders. So in those situations, I pride myself on being poised and trying to go up and get the ball. So I got to be better in that way.
Travis.
Hey, Byron, how's it going, man? I know it's been watching the games. You guys tend to switch your matchups around quite a lot. I'm wondering what that preparation process is like in that defensive back room. Like, I know you do your individual study, but is there kind of a collective, like, here's what this guy does well and how we can defend him as a whole opposed to the individual study?
What was the question? What do you mean by matchups? I play on the right, mostly X plays on the left.
Just when you rotate covering different players, I'm wondering, is there more of a group collaborative as far as like studying what each player does well that you're going up against?
Yeah, no, every player has their strengths and their weaknesses. Some players are going to slide are more shifty, while outside receivers are big play guys, fast guys. So understanding every receiver's strength gives us an opportunity to guard them the best way we think is possible. So yeah, every week we have a scouting report of each receiver, and we go through that and we decide on okay how best to play them. Of course, we have our technique, we have our things that we always do consistently, regardless of who we play against. But it's always good to know exactly what the receiver you're going against and how they can be beat.
Hal.
Byron, how great a difference, if any, and by the way, this question isn't just related to Saturday night, but in general, how great a difference, if any, do you see in the way offensive pass interference is called versus defensive pass interference?
I'm not an expert on offensive stuff. I'm not sure when they call it or what they're looking for. But defensively, we gotta, or at least I gotta do a better job of not allowing the officials to come in and affect the game. So, we understand what it is. The challenge that we have as DBs in the NFL in today's era. And that's a challenge that all DBs accept. So we're not going to get much OPI, and that's fine. We just have to play accordingly.
Soften.
Hey, Byron, I wanted to ask you what happened on the long touchdown play. It seemed like you were in good position. Did you just have your back turned towards the play, or were you pushed off on?
Yeah, I need to do a better job at just staying on top of the receiver, especially in that situation where you have Carr. He throughout his career, he's made a lot of plays with his feet, buying himself more time. So in those instances, as a DB, you want to plaster your guy, but protect that deep shot, because that's what they're going for. They want a big play, and we've seen the Raiders make a lot of big plays throughout the entire year. So that's one thing we want to limit. So I got to do a better job at staying on top of the receiver.
Cam.
Hey, Byron, what's up, man? You guys have been through, I guess, several adverse situations or potentially sticky situations through the year, whether it's the COVID, whether it's some of the QB changes, and it seems like you guys haven't really been affected at all by anything. Has anything that Flores has done stood out on keeping you guys together in those moments?
I think we just all have ultimate trust in what Coach Flo is doing. He's been very real and very straight up and straightforward since day one, which gives the players a comfort that what the coach is saying is not BS. And that's why we're having such a good response to the year, regardless of what's happening. Is because we trust our coach and he keeps it straight up. He lets us know what he's thinking and how he's feeling, and it's really a collaborative team effort when you go into games like that. And we know his decisions, we trust him, and we just follow through.
All right, we'll take two more. Adam.
First, those calls were not correct, by the way. You can't say it, but we will. Both those calls were very questionable, but that's not my question. It's this: when you watch that first Bills game, I know you were hurt, and Noah's out there with a huge assignment with Stephon. How tough was it for you to be there as an observer, and what did you pick up on what Diggs can do from what you saw in that game?
Diggs he's always been a really good route runner, a guy who can catch the ball really well, a savvy vet player. That's what he showed. He showed a guy who just had great experience, and Josh Allen did a good job at getting them the balls when they needed it most. So that's one thing we're gonna have to stop this game is the guy. Both of those guys have been on a tear this year, along with the other receivers on that crew, especially Beasley. So this is a fun challenge for us as a secondary and as a defense, and really as a team. Our destiny's in our hands. So let's go do it. That's the goal.
All right, last one, Joe.
Hey, Byron, my question was about Josh Allen. What do you think is most unique about him?
I think his decision making at this point is really impressive. You know, he knows when to run and he knows when to fit the ball into a tight window. He's doing both pretty well. Obviously, he has a really good offense, and especially his receiving core is probably one of the better ones in the league. So he can really make all the throws, deep, short, especially deep. He's got a really good deep ball. So that's a challenge for us. You're competing against not just receivers, but the quarterback and the offensive line, and they just really work well together. They've been really efficient all year. So his deep ball, his ability to leave the pocket, extend the plays, and also run, that's what makes him special.